to begin the program George Schlatter, who is a producer who has been nominated for 25 Emmys and won Emmys for Rowan and Martin Laughlin, which he was the executive producer and creator of. So George, will you come up and say a few words and start off the evening?
Can I turn this around?
Oh, he's directing.
I don't want to upset you, but at least if you can see me, then you won't get
All right.
All right. Hi there, how are you?
Good.
We're excited to be here. This man has been called many things in his 90 years plus. Some of them nice, and most of them nice. They were all nice. At first he was called Itzur Danielovich. Right? The name his Russian immigrant parents gave him, which in Russian means chin with an attractive boy attached. He has been called a lot of things, but he has been called a brilliant, powerful, and charismatic film actor and stage actor, a daring film producer, a clever and charming author, a rascal, a scoundrel, and a scamp. You can kind of take your pick. They all fit. A list of accolades, awards, trophies, citations, and plaques attesting to his prowess in all areas of life and his career, which is to say that he needs another trophy like I need another 10 pounds. But it's all appreciated. One more trophy, you have to make some more shelves. All right, so anyhow, Kirk's latest adventure is this new book entitled I'm Spartacus, Making a Film, Breaking a Blacklist. I recommend it not only as a wonderful story of courage and principle in the face of tremendous odds, but as a how-to book on how to be a man of principle. Quality more needed today and less apparent than ever in today's society. The book has a foreword by George Clooney, and the audio edition is narrated by Michael Douglas. How do you like that? Michael, George Clooney, and Kirk. How's that for a sandwich? There's a handsome sandwich there just on those names. Anyway, Jolene and I cherish the time that we spent over the decades in the company of Ann and Kirk Douglas. Tell me, you don't know what it's like. I mean, they are fun. With them, you have most fun you can have with your clothes on. It's always been a special bonus to add to the pleasure we've gotten reading his 8 books and watching his 84 films, many of them more than once. That's quite a body of work, when you think about it. In an age when they start calling people star after one appearance on America's Got Talent, Kirk is a genuine article. Kirk got the title in the old-fashioned way. He earned it, starting back in 1948 when he won his first Oscar nomination for his role in Stanley Kramer's The Champion. Remember, that's The Champion. I don't know if you remember the ad line they used to promote that picture. It said it was fighting or loving, he was the champion. Still is, I think, in both categories. Anyhow, it's a real sense to the actor who played the part. 3 years later, the industry recognized Kirk's talent again with another nomination for his work in The Bad and the Beautiful. At times, Mr. Douglas has indeed been worthy of both. Naughty, perhaps, but never bad. It was just another in a long line of performances that are now part of film history. As to my personal pleasure at being acquainted with this remarkable man, who can be a pain, well anyway, and his remarkable wife, who I just love her. I don't know if you don't know her, you should. She's wonderful. I have to recall some cherished moments that did not happen on film or in the theater. One very vivid memory occurred in December of 1999 in a temple here in Los Angeles. I was glad to be there that day with Jolene to witness the second bar mitzvah of an 83-year-old Kirk Douglas. Mr. Douglas has studied long and hard as any 13-year-old to stand on the bima?
Bima.
Yeah.
Bima.
Help me.
Bima.
Right? And read from the Torah. He was a brilliant bar mitzvah boy. The cliche announcement of a bar mitzvah boy at the ceremony is, "Today I am a man." But there never was any question. He was a man from the day he was born. A man of integrity, a man of wisdom and compassion, a man of goodness and strength. All of those qualities we hope to instill in our own children. That was and is always be the hallmark of a remarkable man. I believe they call that a Mensch. In a few years, a restaurant called L'Orangerie, we were privileged to share Kirk's 90th birthday celebration with friends and family. It was a warm and memorable event, but the highlight of the evening was when the birthday boy stood up at the table and recited from memory an entire Shakespeare sonnet dedicated to his lovely wife. I mean, people in that room were having trouble remembering their cell phone. He did the entire thing. I thought, there must be something behind him, a speaker in there somewhere. No way to remember all of that. Anyhow, but his memory put us all to shame. He put a lot of people to shame back in 1958. It was during the McCarthy era, when the entire country was looking for communists under every bed and park bench. Anyone in Hollywood who had ever attended a meeting or gone to dinner with someone of liberal leanings was suspect. And they were put on what was known then as the Hollywood blacklist. You ever hear of it? It was frightening. That time of anger, suspicion, and unrest, Kirk, as the producer of the epic movie Spartacus, gave a screen credit to the screenplay to a man by the name of Dalton Trumbo, who had been blacklisted for years by the industry. He'd gone on and he'd gone to jail for refusing to name names. Today, when you think back, that actually was part of our culture. Facing heated criticism from the right wing, Kirk's sense of fair play and justice won out, and a grave moral injustice was put right thanks to his action. It was the beginning of the downfall of McCarthyism. I don't know whether any of you remember that, but it was indeed a frightening time. But it was the beginning of the end of the dreaded blacklist. Of the many dinners and cocktail parties, charity events, and premieres that we have attended with the Douglases, what I perhaps remember most, other than the hangovers, is the time he came out here to the NBC studios and walked on stage, magnificent, walked on stage to deliver a line on a show I was producing and had become a signature comment. With the cast looking on in rapt attention, Spartacus himself stood in front of the cameras and through those famous clenched teeth said, no, not I am Spartacus. No, what he said was, suck it to me. And the applause went, the cast, they loved it, but suck it to me. It was the best one we ever did. Nixon got a lot of attention, but his delivery was better than anybody. So anyhow, congratulations, my friend, on this well-deserved honor. I loved the ride out here. Anyhow, it was great. What a lovely campus this is, and it's nice that you're honoring our friend here, because the young man's got a lot ahead of him. And where is you going to introduce this child?
Oh, I'm Ray Bradbury tonight.
Ray never looked so good.
Right. And what's the interesting
If
thing,
Ray were here right now, I'd give him a cake.
and what's the interesting thing is, of course, we all know Bo as an icon of American culture, 1980s sex symbol, actress, model, now a horse enthusiast, and even an advocate for the rights of horses. But the
Two
thing-
sex symbols on the same stage.
Yes, two. And the thing that I think is really interesting is when they asked Ray Bradbury on his 90th birthday what he most regretted, he said that I didn't spend enough time with Bo Derek. And think of him today, he's not going to get to do that either. But she is standing in, and Bo, if you would like to say a few words and present the Ray Bradbury Award. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Funny, I know you're wondering, why am I here standing in for Ray Bradbury? We became friends about 25 years ago on the bullet train from Paris up to the Alps. We were both invited to a film festival, a science fiction film festival. And on the train we started talking, and I said, you know, I'm looking at the slot of films that are being judged, and it feels like horror films, and I thought we were coming to science fiction, which I love, and especially Ray Bradbury's films. He said, me too. Absolutely. He said, if this is horror films, I'm leaving it. I said, I'm with you. So the opening night of the film festival, they have their biggest film, And it starts off, and it's a dark house, and there's a family and some children and the dog, and they finish their Christmas dinner, and bad Santa comes, Killer Santa. And Killer Santa comes in the house, and I'm in the back, and I can see Ray's silver head in front of me a few rows. And Santa kills the mother, kills the father, kills a child, and Ray's still sitting there, and I thought we were going to leave. All of a sudden, Santa killed the dog. And he popped up out of his seat and he stormed out. And I knew we were going to be great friends from then on. So that was my regret. And as Ray, I would like to present this award to Kirk. The most wonderful, incredible man. You know his film history, but I've gotten to know Kirk a little bit. The art collection, the philanthropy that he never even talks about. He's really a man to be admired, and I'm happy to present this.
Clapping about the award.
When you talked about me, I thought I was dead.
You're not.
I'm sorry that Ray Bradbury is not here. And I hope he recovers soon. I expected I would be in the hospital. And we would give me.
I could be you?
Yes.
No. Thank God you're not. This is better. I just did that. Or to be Ray Bradbury doesn't work. This works real well.
You know, years ago, my son Peter was really excited. He just read the book, Something Which This Will Come. He said, you said you have to buy this book. I would like to produce it. And I read it, and I thought it was wonderful, and there was a good part in it for me. So I bought the book and gave it to Peter, and he started putting it together. And I said, when do we rehearse? Oh, he said, Dad, the director thinks you're too old. I am too old, yes. So they did the picture without me. And I think that my family has tried to get me out of the movie. But after that, I read a book, One Flew the Cuckoo's Nest. I bought the book, I made it in the play, I played it at Broadway. They created with another star. So I come back to making the movie, and I can't put it together. For several years, my other son, Michael, was just coming out of the streets of San Francisco. And he said, Dad, let me do the book. And I thought, if I could make a movie, what? I read the movie, the book right to him. And within a year, he got the money, a director, and he ready to go. And this, I have been playing McMurphy, and I love that part. So again, I said to my son, Michael, when do I start rehearsing? Yeah, he said the same thing that Peter said, Dad, you're too old for the part. So twice, my son had a picture, and twice I didn't get to play the part. So
Who played the part in Cuckoo?
I like to think he was someone who would be terrible. But he got a young actor named Jack Nicholson, and he won an Oscar. As a matter of fact, everybody won Oscars. sideline. Well, I thought maybe am I doing something wrong?
No, you're doing fine.
Okay, I don't want to
I
make
just know you have
mistake.
another appointment, so I'm not gonna let you rattle on too long.
You know, then I have a couple class, and 2 people were killed. I broke my back, and I thought, gee, someone is giving me bad luck. But I survived that. I went back to acting, and then I had a stroke, and I lost my voice. I said, now, God doesn't want me to be acting. What am I going to do? And then that was about 50 years ago, and I kept working with a speech therapist, and I got, can you understand me?
Yes.
The speech therapist was wonderful, and she always would write a poem. She was a poet, and she always wrote a poem because she wanted me to recite the poem to get my speech back. So yesterday I got a poem from her. And I will read it, and you will tell me if you understand what I'm saying. She said, will something wicked this way come with a May 20 eclipse of the sun? Is there a truth in Fahrenheit 1251? Out of fiction cleverly contrived, finally dystopia, she gets very difficult word for me. Finally dystopia has arrived, probably not. But between even hours of 6 and 7, God indeed saw the heavens. To be seen at his best, look towards north by northwest. The moon will pass between sun and earth. A darkening circle will flaming earth will decorate the sky. While fame and celebrity given that to the Ray Bradbury Award for outstanding dramatic presentation given with great adulation to Kirk Douglas, a non-eclipse screen sensation, eventually on the first central eclipse of the 21st century. Did you understand? That you understood what I was saying. But I want to thank you all for inviting me here, and especially delighted she's still at 10. Came, and as George Schlatter, let me tell you, well, I was going to say one thing about him. He produced, I don't know if you're old enough to know, he produced a show called Laughing. It was the most wonderful show on TV. And I said, how many, 6 years?
Yep, when the cast voted their favorite guest star, it was you. They did. They all stood around, and it was like, you can't imagine what he came out on that stage. Not only was the cast there, because at that point, Goldie and all of them were major stars. They just stood there watching. It took you forever to get out of there for the autographs. You were the best thing on the show.
I'm sure. I will try to go and visit Ray Bradbury and tell him how what the last time we had together. And I thank you all very much for inviting me here to this beautiful campus. And please promise to invite me back again.
College. This is lovely university, right? Just beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you very much.